The Boy Who Never Gave Up, Part 2. The road gets harder after winning the speech competition. Arjun's life slowly began to change. For the first time, he felt confident speaking in English. He was no longer afraid of making mistakes. Instead, he saw mistakes as a way to learn. But life outside school was still not easy. One evening, Arjun returned home and saw his father sitting quietly outside the house. His face looked tired and worried. "Appa, what happened?" Arjun asked. His father sighed. "The crops failed this season. We didn't get enough rain." Arjun felt a heavy weight in his heart. "What will we do now?" he asked. His father looked at him and said softly, "We will manage." "We always do." But Arjun could see the truth. Things were getting worse. A difficult decision a few days later. Arjun overheard his parents talking at night. "We don't have enough money for his school fees," his mother said. There was silence. Then his father replied, "Maybe he should stop school for some time and help me in the fields." Arjun's heart stopped. Stop school? His dream. His future. The next morning, Arjun went to his father. "Appa, I heard everything," he said. His father looked surprised. Arjun took a deep breath. "I will help you in the fields. But please, don't stop my education." His father looked at him with pain in his eyes. "You are still a child, Arjun." Arjun shook his head. "No, Appa, I have a dream. I cannot give up now." His father remained silent for a long moment. Then slowly, he nodded. "All right, we will find a way." A new routine from that day. Arjun's life became even more difficult. He woke up earlier than before. Morning, work in the fields. Afternoon, school. Evening, study. Night, practice English memes. He felt extremely tired. Sometimes he wanted to give up, but every time he thought of quitting, he remembered his goal to become a teacher. Support from a teacher. Miss Mira noticed that Arjun looked tired in class. "Arjun, are you okay?" she asked. Arjun hesitated but then told her everything. Miss Mira listened carefully. "You are very strong, Arjun," she said, "but you should not fight this alone." The next day, she spoke to the school principal. A few days later, Arjun was called to the office. "Arjun," the principal said, "we have decided to give you a scholarship." Arjun's eyes widened. "Say really?" "Yes, your education will continue without fees." Arjun felt tears in his eyes. "Thank you, sir. Thank you so much." That day, he ran home with happiness. Appa, I got a scholarship." His parents smiled with relief and pride. Growth and progress with the scholarship. Arjun could focus more on his studies. He continued practicing English every day. He started speaking with teachers in English. He even began helping other students. Ravi once said, "You've changed, Arjun. You speak so confidently now." Arjun smiled. "I just didn't stop trying." End of part 2. Arjun had overcome his first big challenge, but life had more tests waiting for him. Part 3. A bigger dream. Years passed. Arjun completed his school education with excellent marks. Now, it was time for college, but there was a new problem. College was in the city. And living in the city was expensive. A new world. Arjun traveled to the city for the first time. Everything was different. Tall buildings, busy roads, fast people. He felt small and lost. Can I really survive here? He wondered. Money problems again even with a scholarship. Arjun needed money for food, books, and travel. So he made a decision. "I will work part-time," he said. He found a job at a small tea shop. Every evening. After college, he worked there. He served tea, cleaned tables, and washed cups. Some customers were kind, some were rude, but Arjun stayed calm. A moment of doubt. One night, after a long day, Arjun sat alone. "I am so tired," he said to himself. "Maybe this is too difficult." For the first time in years, he felt like giving up. A turning point just then. He remembered his village. His parents. His teacher. His dream. He stood up and said, "No, I didn't come this far to quit." A new goal. Arjun decided to improve his English even more. He started reading newspapers, watching English videos, speaking with classmates. At first, people laughed at his accent, but he didn't stop. Day by day, he improved. Another opportunity. One day, His college announced a seminar. Students had to give presentations in English. Arjun raised his hand. I want to present. His classmates were surprised, but Arjun was ready. End of part 3. Arjun was no longer just a village boy. He was becoming stronger, smarter, and more confident. Asterisk part 4. The final testy day of the seminar arrived. Arjun stood in front of a large audience. Students, teachers, guests. This was bigger than anything he had faced before. Fear returned. His heart started beating fast again. What if I fail? He thought. But then he smiled. I've been here before. The speech began. Good morning, everyone. This time, his voice was clear and confident. He spoke about education and opportunity. He shared his story. His struggles, his dreams. A standing ovation when he finished. The entire hall stood up. Clapping. Loudly. Proudly. Some students had tears in their eyes. A life-changing moment. A guest speaker approached him. You are very inspiring, he said. Would you like to work with us as a tutor? Arjun couldn't believe it. Yes, sir. A new beginning. Arjun started teaching part-time. For the first time, he was living his dream. End of part 4. The boy who once feared English was now teaching others. Part 5. The dream comes 3 years later. Arjun returned to his village, but this time not as a poor boy. As a teacher. Back to where it began. Walked into his old school. The same classrooms, the same walls, but now everything felt different. The first class, Arjun stood in front of students. Just like Miss Mira once did. He smiled and said, Good morning, everyone. The students replied, Good morning, sir. His message looked at them and said, I was once sitting where you are now. I was afraid to speak English, but I didn't give up. Inspiration. Students listened carefully. They saw hope. They saw possibility. A proud moment after class. Arjun met his parents. His mother had tears in her eyes. You did it, she said. His father smiled proudly. You never gave up. Final words. That night, Arjun looked at the sky again. Just like years ago. But this time, he smiled with peace because his dream had come true. The end.